Hi friends, Merrideth Jiles here with Backyard Basics. And today we're going to talk about watering in an exceptional drought. Now we all know that 2011 has been an exceptional drought, but we do live in a drought-prone area, so knowing how to irrigate properly during a drought is always a good thing. Now there are some short-term and long-term issues we deal with drought. Short-term issues can include things like leaf dropping, fruit drop, yellowing, increased insect attacks, and increased wildlife foraging. Some longer-term issues could be increased disease risk, root dieback, diminished winter hardiness, terminal dieback, and even death. Now when deciding how to irrigate your lawn, one of the things you want to do is prioritize. First, we have our high priority things like our trees and our shrubs. Next would be medium priority, things like perennials, fruit trees, veggies, and such. And then low priority things like annuals, ornamentals, potted plants, and your turf. Now there are three main types of watering systems, so we'll talk about those real quick. First up, we'll talk about sprinklers. Now this could be a professionally installed system or something as simple as a little oscillating or spot sprinkler like this. These are some of the best ways to water large areas, but they are also some of the most wasteful because water generally is shot into the air and is lost to evaporation. Some of that has been addressed by some new systems like the hover sprinkler, which shoots the water directly down. And this is a hand watering tool that you can use a little more often under city regulations. Now, if you do have a professional irrigation system, I highly recommend you have it checked by a professional or check out a website like waterwise.org for tips on how to make sure it's running as efficiently as possible. Now, next up would be drip irrigation. Drip irrigation is a little superior because less water is lost to evaporation. Now, that would include things like soaker hoses, which are pretty simple and can be used just about anywhere, or professionally installed or self-installed drip irrigation systems. Kind of the business end of a drip irrigator would be this little emitter here. These are used to deliver water directly to the root zone of a plant. One product I really like is this guy, which actually will convert a pop-up sprinkler into as many as 12 drippers. So this is a great way to reduce the amount of water lost to evaporation. Now probably the most effective way to irrigate particularly large trees or old shrubs is injection irrigation. For something like that, you would want something like this guy right here, the Yard Butler Deep Root Irrigator. This is a solid steel piece. You hook your hose up to it, and you're going to insert this into the ground really about as far as you can go. We want to try to get at least 6 to 8 inches in. The good news is the water pressure will actually help you get it inserted into the soil. Now you're going to want to leave it in any one spot for about 20 or 30 minutes, and you are going to need to work your way around the entire drip zone of the plant about every 12 to 24 inches. Now, if your drip zone happens to be under the house or something like that, you'll obviously have to skip those areas. Now, we also want you to just keep in mind, when you want to water very deeply, but do it infrequently. Once a week for your beds and vegetable gardens and things like that. For older established things, once a month or maybe every 2 months. So to keep your plants alive in this severe drought, irrigation is going to be key. This is Merrideth Jiles with Backyard.